important things that a biomedical professional needs to know if they want to work abroad or if you want to move abroad. Language proficiency is a lot more than the technical term. So I'm proficient in English, as you have probably noticed if you watched my videos or listened to some podcasts or maybe even read my papers, but I'm also a very direct communicator. And that doesn't always fly in a corporate setting, for example. So I did get in trouble a few times, not only in the US, also in Germany, where I would be very direct because of my background, because of my personality, because of the way I was raised. I would just be me, which would not be the way you should communicate in such a situation. So I did got in trouble a few times, not like serious trouble, but if I was more conscious of the way I'm expressing myself in different situations, I could have avoided uncomfortable situations. Obviously, industry-specific language, your jargon, your technical terms, this is kind of a given for me that you need to know. That's something that I struggled a lot and still struggle with in English is the amount of abbreviations and acronyms that they use. Like in Polish, you spell out the stuff. In German as well. In English, you abbreviate everything you can abbreviate. And I already kind of started working on this before even thinking of going to the US, before meeting my husband, because I used to be an interpreter. So when I was interpreting at veterinary conferences, so when I was doing the simultaneous translation, the English-speaking lecturers would use the abbreviations and I would have to translate them into full words so that my audience would understand it. So I'm hyper aware of this and try to familiarize myself with all the abbreviations and, in the conversations that I will have. And most of them I already know, but there's always something that I don't know. And what I learned, it's okay to ask what it means, but better if you do it at the beginning of the conversation than at the end of the meeting. If English or whatever language you're going to be working in is not your first language, it's useful to have an official certificate from either a language school or a language institute, which I did for several languages. I did it for English, I did it for German and Spanish, because then you don't have to prove yourself over and over again. That may be high or low on the list of your priorities. I love learning languages, and that would be a milestone for me earlier in my career when I reached a certain level of proficiency in a language. I wanted to test myself. I wanted to have the paper to later show, hey, I know the language at the level you require me to know it. And if you are thinking of going to the US or another country as a doctor or a biomedical professional, and you would like the content of this video as a checklist to help you guide your process, go ahead and download it right now.